Hi, I'm Deborah Atkinson, and this is the Flipping 50 Show, the place to reset, tune up, and prepare for your second and better half with the energy and the vitality that you want. In every episode, I answer questions from women just like you about what you're struggling with the most, and I share the how to move, the what to eat and when, and your biggest time challenge solutions so you can focus on the one or two key things that'll get you the most results in the least amount of time. Share your question with me at flipping50tv.com, and if I choose your question for the show, you're going to get exclusive access to gifts and goodies I'll tell you a little bit more about later. Even if I can't choose your question for the show, you get immediate access to Muscles in Minutes. It's my guide for toning those hard to tone areas easily. In today's episode, I'm going to pull back the curtain. We're going to do something really different and really pull back the covers on what it is I do from the time I wake up and when that is to the time I go to sleep, and how I make my energy optimal to go like an Energizer bunny all day long, even on those days when, I'm not quite motivated to do it all too. So I wake up naturally almost every day of the week. When I can, that's my sign I've gotten all the sleep that my body needs to be on high energy and full battery power all day long. And here's what happens. I walk into the kitchen, I start with a tall glass of fresh squeezed lemon in water, and then it's the first cup of coffee. And I'll have to admit, just to you, I have 2 cups most days, but between cups, I have another tall glass of water just to make sure I start my day really well hydrated. Here's what this warm coffee does. It's soothing and it's a great time in the morning to focus on my most creative work. So I grab old school, pen and paper, no technology, no social media, no email checking until I've really done the most important creative work. This is when I'm working on programs for you, answering questions through blogs and articles about what you need most. And that creative work happens best first thing in the morning for me. Still in my pajamas, as you can see, but these are my favorite PJ Salvage, just in case. So I love to lounge just a little bit longer than I probably need to. But next, when it's time for me to actually get a quick workout in, I need to have a little snack. So I've had a couple cups of coffee, I've been up for a little while, and I need something to take the edge off hunger, just to keep me going through a workout with high energy and deter me from the fact that I'm probably a little bit hungry by that point. So simple to digest, easy snack, about half a banana and a little sun butter. So if you've got allergies or food sensitivities, peanut butter is one of my favorites, but it's highly allergenic. So sun butter solves all those issues. And I like almond butter too, but sun butter is probably one of my favorites. And then it'll be right onto a workout. This is another super important part of my morning routine. I take a multivitamin every day, and I take one that's broken into 2 doses. So I take an AM and a PM dose, and here's why that's super important for you. By taking multiple doses to get your full 1-day multivitamin in, you increase absorption. So you're not just flushing it down the stool, you increase the benefit you get from the micronutrients that you're wanting to take and get inside you anyway, and you reduce the competition. So it's like musical chairs. There are only so many receptors inside you, only so many seats. So if some micronutrients sit down and take those, you're not absorbing others. So it's really important to look closely at what you're doing. So to learn more about the nutrients that I take from Cult Nutrition, go to the Flipping TV tab in flipping50.com, read a little bit more about it and why it works so well, and try it. You'll feel the difference. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret right now. Even if you work out of your home, it's not easier, and in some ways, it's a lot harder to break away and actually give yourself the time that you need to get the energy and the workout that you want. But here's my secret. This is what I do at home on my busiest days to break away from the desk, and I do this too in my hotel room early mornings when I've got to do an early morning presentation. This is a quick fix, no equipment required. Now you know this, I love weight training and I love heavy weights, or at least reaching fatigue with weights, but you can't always do that. So this is one of those 10 or 20% of the time, this will be okay. It'll keep you consistent and it's gonna help you keep yourself on track so you can get back to the weights and the full workout that you want. So watch how easy this is to position full body exercises that go from upper body to lower body and core and finish in nothing. So here's where I start. We're gonna go, you're gonna see major muscle groups in action. So choose big ones, not little ones. This is not gonna help elevate your heart rate. If you've got a short amount of time, you wanna zoom in on what's specific. We're gonna start with boxing. So give me kind of a 3/4 view. Start with a jab, right here. So remember your elbow, slightly flexed. Push out. Every time you do that, you should feel bracing happening right here. This is all core work. Push. Right to you, right to my nose. Keep your shoulders down when that arm comes up. So because we're doing something on one side, we're gonna switch. So I'm shooting for about a minute on each. You can go a little shorter, a little longer. You gotta keep it balanced. If you're doing anything on the right and on the left side, push. So remember right away, you gotta go hard and heavy. Make them count. Keep breathing. Remember, it's all core. Stay with it. We're gonna go right to a major muscle group. We're gonna go to lower body. So you're gonna go side lunges with me. We're gonna go over, come back in, go over to the side. Now I wanna focus on sitting back in my heel. So all the pressure goes to my glutes, not to my knees. So there's your measure. My hands can go on my hip. They can go up here, just cross them. They could go right here. A little bit more difficult and a lot more core activation if you move those hands away from your core. Can you hear me breathing? So come on, get breathless with me. We just went from upper body to lower body. So in less than a minute, you're elevating that heart rate. That's what you want. Getting ready, you're starting to think right now, the next move is gonna be a push-up. So we're going to upper body now. We're gonna go right to lower body. One more side, and then switch. Your push-up might be on your knees, and it might be on your toes. If you have any in here on your toes, start there. You can always come back to your knees as you fatigue. Exhale on the way up. When fatigue kicks in, keep the length, come down. Now try this, slower. Power up, slower. It's an eccentric contraction. Makes things much more difficult, takes fewer to get the real work done. Are we fatiguing? Exhale up and push. Keep that head and neck nice and long. Stay with me, give me one more. I'm gonna turn around. Have a seat. That eccentric work that we just did, I want you to start up, tailbone underneath you, and you're gonna roll back nice and slow. Don't be fooled. This is gonna look a lot like a sit-up, but what I want you to do is emphasize slow, 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 slow. Nice control. All the way down. Come back up and we do it again. Careful with your neck. Keep yourself relaxed. Keep breathing. Here's a great test. Come halfway back. Stay right there. You got this. Your heels are down. Go all the way back. Come up. Come halfway back. stay there. Yes, you can. Go all the way back. Come up. Do one more with me, slow. As we come all the way back. Not a major muscle group here, but still enough to fatigue. We're gonna come up. I'm gonna go right back into a squat because potentially your heart rate did just come down a little bit. Weight on the heels, watch what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn to the side. I want you to see my weight's on my heels. My knees go forward ever so slightly. They have to, but it's not this. Sit way back, chest up, look forward. And you can take your arms forward and back. You can plant them on your hips, or you can put them right up here. Good, and if you feel really good, give me a little lift. Every once in a while. Just surprise. Spontaneous combustion. Lift up. Good. Nice job. You should be breathing hard. Remember, you're only gonna do this for potentially 7 minutes. You got this. Good. Breathe. Push. Be ready. Preparing for that next one. Definitely a lot of work. Plank and lift. I'm gonna put this down and I'm gonna be right here. Instead I'm on the floor, shoulder blades back, and I want you to lift up. Legs to the rear. Nice, easy. Press and lift. Core tight. You've got this. Exhale. No arch to the back. You're not letting go. So in the middle, nice and stable. Glutes tight. Core's tight. Breathing a little harder. How we doing? Good. Hang in there with me. This should be not easy, but a little challenging. It's intense because it's shorter. And you're gonna walk in, roll up, and step up. For the step ups, you're right here. Now, if I'm in a hotel room, I may not have access to a box, but I might want to put my footprint right in a hotel room chair that feels like it's a little too tall for you. Here's the other option. You just step that up on the ground, but you work a little bit harder with your arms. So you can make things work no matter where you are. The key is move just a little bit more every day and make what you're doing work. Straighten out on that standing hip. Use that thigh. Use the glutes to push through. Lift up. You got it. Getting ready for the next exercise. Now walk, find a place on the wall. What I want you to do is come down. Easy sit. Weight on your heels. Toes are wiggling inside of your shoe. Press your hips back, shoulders back, head back to the wall. Your lower back can be away or pushed in. Figure out what feels most comfortable to you. And then talk to your quadriceps. They're gonna need a little motivation right now. You can take your arms up and down. And this does nothing except distract you. And that right now might be everything, because this can be a real challenge. You're not moving, but those muscles are tired. Now they're really feeling the work. Here you go. And as we wind down, this is it. This might be a great 7-minute break from your desk in the middle of the day. And I might start all over and rewind and do it again once more or twice more for 14 or 21 minutes of easy, simple exercise in about 6 square feet. I'm gonna bet if you exercise with a friend, I don't have to tell you about the benefit of having a partner to keep you accountable, especially if you're trying to get yourself out of bed to go early and or break away from the desk in the middle of the day. If somebody's counting on you, you're gonna show up. Here's my exercise partner. So, huge motivator, and music changes the world, and it actually brings us all together. My workout partners are Billy, Bob, and Bruce. And if you want my personal playlist, go to the Flipping 50 TV tab on flipping50.com, and I'll share with you my favorites for staying motivated. And picking the right beat is an art, and I'll show you what songs do better with cardio or with strength training to keep you going. So a great workout, ready for the day, but actually hungry. Need fuel both for my body and for my brain. So you know I'm a smoothie girl. So I'm gonna get my little extras in here. I've got my greens and my fruit, putting a little fat in chia, a little fiber, both in the oatmeal, and a little antioxidant in my cacao powder. And I've got pea protein today, just to mix it up a little bit. My almond milk goes in on top. And with this, I'm ready to take charge. It's gonna keep me full and functioning fully until lunch. So when it's time to get ready for the day, it's really important to consider not just how you exercise, what you put in your body, but what you put on your body. From what you brush your teeth with, meaning a non-fluoride toothpaste. And I'll explain a little bit more about that on the Flipping 50 TV tab. But I also, as you know, love Anne Marie skincare. So putting the right kind of moisturizer, cleanser, and even shampoos on your skin make a huge difference so that you're not putting parabens, sulfates, and other toxins on your skin. You want to make sure that you're keeping your stress load as low and light as you can. So we're not just talking exercise, nutrition, we're talking about what you put in and around your environment, including mindset. From the very first thing that happens, and the first things I see early in the day when I get up, I put things around me that are going to remind me when the day gets a little challenging, gets a little stressful, why I'm doing what I'm doing and how lucky and fortunate I am to do it. Starting with these two in my bathroom. This is a gift from a client who was killed tragically. And it reminds me that even though no pain, no gain is not anything that she knows that I practiced, it reminds me how lucky I was to have her in my life for 7 years. The ribbon is a representative of pancreatic cancer that took the mom of one of my son's best friends. And I remember every time I'm having a little tiff or argument with my son, or he calls and asks for my credit card, just how fortunate I am to be answering that phone. Let me show you a couple other things I keep around in my environment to remind me how lucky I am to be doing what I'm doing. There are days when we think we're all too busy. I keep these around to remind me how fast time flies. So these are a few of my favorite things, and the reminder for me is that this guy now is 22, and I do have time to pick up the phone. Last but not least is don't forget to be awesome. My message for you, and actually somebody extremely special's message for all of us. We lost a family member who was 35 when he was killed last summer. This was a sign in the mudroom. It was the last thing he saw before he left the house every single day. And he was someone who lived more in 35 years than some of us might in 70. His message, don't forget to be awesome, is something we all remind ourselves of with a hashtag. So I welcome you, invite you to use it. Don't forget to be awesome, and don't forget that yourself. It's time to cook. When it's time to cook, this is the only time that multitasking is really beneficial. So I'll tell you a little secret. When I go into the kitchen, I'm never preparing just one recipe. I'm preparing 2 or 3, sometimes more. So here's my secret for prepping for several days or for the week in advance. I'm gonna make 3 things. I got a meat dish going here. You're gonna see how I mix up my own taco meat. No packaged seasonings, but a lot of things that go in here that actually help thyroid health. I'm gonna make a stir-fried cauliflower rice, hard to say, but great to eat. And I'm gonna start some sweet potatoes, roast them, that I can either make for tacos or I can throw them into a salad, things that'll help you sleep in the night. So watch this closely, because I make things fly. This is the perfect time for me to do a little bit more multitasking. So while I'm cooking in here, I hate to take time out and just listen to a podcast. So I'm almost always doing a weight workout, maybe on my own, where I know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna fill that time where I'm creatively moving and I'm putting brand new ideas into my head. So for me, it might be something about marketing or something about building my business that I'm gonna listen to, and I catch up on those podcasts right now. Another great time for me to do it is while I'm cooking. So while dinner's cooking, so am I, with brand new business ideas. All 3 dishes done: a meat dish, a vegetable dish, and a great carbohydrate for an evening, especially. Great servings of sleep-enhancing carbohydrates. Multitasking at its best. So the reality is, I love what I do. I believe in fitness and I live by fitness and an active life myself. But when push comes to shove and tuition comes due, I am a businesswoman. So working at home and opening up the little silver box every day is a ritual that I do because I need to do it, and I've got to have energy and be on and ready to tackle the problems and the challenges that come up along with the rewards. So in order to be high energy, I've got to set that schedule and that routine that works the best for me, and you have to find the one that works best for you. So I've just described a lot of settings and how I go through my steps, why I do everything I do, and the products that I use that actually contribute to my best well-being. And the other thing you need to know is we work in cycles of 90 to 20 or 120 minutes. That means about 1.5 to 2 hours. When you start to feel like you're not able to brainstorm anymore, you're not able to focus the way you were, you can't problem solve quite as well, it's actually time to get up, take a really short break, and then come back to it. So what I'll do sometimes during those moments, that's the time I actually will open up my email. It's the time when I can respond to somebody's question and I don't have to be creatively doing something with my brain. So take those little mini breaks for this muscle as well as you would take them for the exercise or between exercises. That's an important piece of sitting down, getting focused, and keeping yourself on task. Work when you work, play when you play, rest when you rest, and exercise on purpose when you exercise. That's the way to be successful and be high energy all day, every day. So the key flip of the day, for me, high energy comes from the little teeny choices that you make all day, every day, and into the night, so you can be an overnight success. Share your question with me at flipping50tv.com. And if you have questions about the products that I use, be sure that you go to Flipping 50 TV tab in flipping50allwords.com and see exactly what I use, why I like it, and the benefits that I get from them. And then share your ideas with me. Go on over to flipping50tv.com, share your question with me. And here's what happens. If I choose your question for the show, you get exclusive access to the After 50 Fitness Formula for Women, my online course, and a copy of You Still Got It, Girl, my book, and a trio of full-size skincare products from Anne Marie Skincare. And I just told you why I love them. Send me your question or your greatest challenge to flipping50tv.com. And if I choose your question for the show, you get exclusive access to gifts and goodies like my online course, The After 50 Fitness Formula for Women. You get a copy of You Still Got It, Girl, the book, and a trio of full-size skincare products from my friends at Anne Marie Skincare. What are you waiting for? Let's start flipping 50 together.